Coming up, I'm going to reveal the surprising link between sleep and income. And then, is Gen Z starting to swipe millennials' job? And if they are, why? We'll break it all down. Let's go. Welcome to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you win at work. If you are getting better, your paycheck is getting bigger. That's our aim here. So excited that you are with us. Okay, let's unpack this. Is there an actual link between sleep quality and high income? The short answer is yes. Sleeping 1 extra hour per night, on average, increases wages by 16% and could be tied to a 5% lifetime earnings increase. This by Satva. And there's definitely a connection between sleep and financial health. A study published in the Review of Economics and Statistics shows that employees who live in locations where people get more sleep typically get paid more than those who live in places where people don't sleep as much. So a lot of data here. I could go on and on and on. Boston University School of Public Health did a study. The main result is that sleeping 1 extra hour per night on average increases wages by 16%. The caveat here, you likely won't get a 5% increase in your income if your neighbors and coworkers don't do the same. The income boost relies on everyone in an area sleeping more, so there's a community element here. In other words, if you want to raise your income, you want to be in places where people take health and their sleep very, very seriously. Because what happens is, it's kind of like high income areas. People take care of themselves. There's just a higher quality. Listen, I don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but I was born in a very, very small Appalachian area town. And I'm just going to tell you that you can look at low income areas, whether it be rural or urban, and the health, the physical health in those areas is worse, as opposed to you go into high-income areas and you look at how many healthy people exercise it. There's something to this, all right? So I wanted to set this, that the studies show that this is true. Now, where are we as Americans as it relates to sleep? A majority of U.S. adults, 57%, say they would feel better if they got more sleep. They're acknowledging that they're not getting enough sleep. 42% say they are getting as much sleep as they need. Let's just look at the past and then the present as we unpack this. In 1942, 59% of people, 59% of Americans, were getting 8+ hours of sleep. By 1990, the percentage that said that they were getting 8 or more hours had fallen to 27%. That is a massive drop. Now, this is interesting. The latest data shows us that 36% of women versus 48% of men saying they get the sleep they need. Now, in this article, this is Gallup information here. There's a clear pattern of younger women not getting as much sleep. So that leads to, well, overall, what's causing the decline in the amount and quality of sleep? And the answer is stress. According to the American Psychological Association, the relationship between sleep and stress goes both ways. Those who sleep less are more stressed. And you can guess it, those who are more stressed sleep less. So stress is the big, big, ugly enemy. More data shows that nearly half of all Americans, the same data I've been reporting. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. So what we take away from this is we have a very scary decline in the amount of Americans getting the sleep that they need. And so that is easily, in my mind, tied to Gallup's data on productivity and lack of engagement. Now, let's just have some common sense here. We saw the data that you get good sleep, it can lead to a 16% jump in pay, And then long-term, 5% an increase in salary over the length of your career. Okay. Let's break it down on what we know. Does sleep impact me at the workplace? Absolutely. Let's just start with everything's a lot harder. You don't have the energy. You're not thinking sharp. I've seen data that says if you get less than 6 hours of sleep at night, it's the equivalent of drinking a 6-pack of beer. Hello? How many of you think you're at your best when you've had a 6-pack of beer? I don't want to know who raised their hands and said they're better. I can tell you this. I don't want them working on anything that I'm paying for. Sorry. Come on. Let's get over the bravado and the high school jokes. You are impaired. Okay? So if you equate lack of sleep to alcohol consumption, you are impaired. So you're not at your best in the job. So that makes things not as easy for you, which, watch out, that creates stress. It's like a never-ending cycle. Okay? Let's talk about our intercommunication skills when we're tired. Come on, we've all made jokes about the cranky toddler, but who among us, when we're really, really tired, are at our best from a communication standpoint? This is the most vital soft skill in the workplace, is communication. So it certainly impairs your energy. It impairs your communication. It impairs your cognitive ability to think, to be at your best. That creates stress for you when you feel like you're stressed. That starts to affect your mental and physical health. So again, we're in the hamster wheel. Those who do not get a good night's sleep lose between 20 to 50% of their productivity. That's affecting employers. It's affecting you in your job review. It's affecting you when you've been working all day long with an improper amount of sleep, and you're frustrated, you're not productive, you're stressed as a result, and now you're going to go home. And you got duties at home. So this is a vital issue. So what do? Now, there's a lot of things you can do. My goodness. There are best-selling books on sleep. There are podcasts on sleep. There are enormous amounts of articles and blogs. Do your homework. Everybody's got an opinion on it. All of a sudden, sleep's become a big issue. Well, here's the deal. There's enough good, credible information out there for you to be able to make good decisions and changes in your life. Back to the stress piece. I'm gonna make a statement that, you know what, it feels a little bold, but I think it's straight down common sense lane. I'm going to suggest to you that if you're spending the amount of time you spend at your job in a job that you do not love, a job that is sucking the life out of you because you were overwhelmed, or it is sucking the life out of you because you're bored, or it is sucking the life out of you because you have a negative team environment, bad culture. I could go down the list of why people don't enjoy their jobs. And by the way, I'm not even saying you hate it. I'm just saying there is a draining component to your job. Can I just tell you something? If that's going on, no matter how many sleep podcasts you listen to, how many sleep books you read, come on, I don't care how cold your room is, how dark it is, all the things. That internal and emotional, that mental and emotional stress will affect your sleep because you're going to bed going, holy crap, I got to get up and do this all over again tomorrow. So might I suggest that before you engage in all of the sleep stuff and all the knowledge and all the experts, maybe you make some moves to get into a work environment where most days are pretty good days and watch your sleep improve. Oh, maybe that's an idea. Because I think we can get hacks and we can get eye masks and all the things. But if our heart and brain are unsettled, I'm going to tell you right now, you will not rest. So I think maybe we start there. And then we drop the thermostat really low. Get an eye mask. Get a body pillow. Get a comfortable pillow. Get good, really nice sheets. Get a good brown noise machine. All the things that I know about. But I can tell you something. All those things make sleep a little bit better. When you're going to bed, relatively stress-free. There's a thought. So, do I think that sleep is a major factor in your professional success, you better believe it, and the data backs me up. We'll be right back. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Hey, high school seniors and parents of high school seniors, it's almost graduation time. And if you're not sure about next steps, I want you to listen to this. Coding skills are essential in today's workforce. And my friends at Bethel Tech can help you start a new career really fast and do it cheap. It only takes 9 months to complete a Bethel Tech course in UI, UX design, full stack development, data science, or cybersecurity. And your young person can get over 1,000 hours of experience in a collaborative environment and then get placed. The average starting salary for a junior developer is $66,000. And the field is projected to grow by 22% over the next 5 years. Software development is a career with an enormously bright future. And right now, Bethel Tech is offering you 10% off if you watch or listen to the Ken Coleman Show and you pay cash. So go to betheltech.net/Ken Coleman, betheltech.net/Ken Coleman right now for details. Terms and conditions do apply. All right, the big questions that we all need to answer if we're serious about professional growth is who we are, what we want to do, where we can do it, and how to get there. And I'm very excited to tell you that the new book and Get Clear Assessment really is the assessment with a short book, about a 45-minute read to help you take your assessment results that answer the questions, what I'm good at, what I enjoy doing, and what motivates me. This is vital information. And then how do we take that information now that we're self-aware and begin to ideate and then eventually select a professional direction? Well, the book helps you do that with your results. It's called Find the Work You're Wired to Do. And I'm proud to tell you this little guy is a bestseller now. So really fun. And you can get the book at kencoleman.com. It'll really help you. It's kind of the signature tool of everything I do, because the key to winning as a professional is first and foremost to know who you are. In other words, what am I wired to do? And this is self-awareness. It's a superpower. So that resource will help you out, kencoleman.com. Okay, interesting article here. Everybody's talking about AI all the time. And boy, AI is a hot new topic because obviously it's getting clicks. And why is it getting clicks? Because I think we, the people, are going, how is this going to change our lives, man? Are the robots going to take us over? Incidentally, if you haven't seen iRobot, probably worth a watch. I will confess to you that when I first saw it, I thought, this is ridiculous. You ever gone to one of those movies that you think is going to be really cool, and you're in it about 5 to 10 minutes, and you look at your wife or your friend or your spouse or your partner, whoever, and you go, oh boy, this is a mess. So when I saw iRobot the first time, I thought, this is ridiculous. True story. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was so far-fetched that I just honestly had a bad attitude the whole time. Boy, was I wrong. Whoever directed that movie, that's here. Holy smokes. Is it going to be that dramatic? I don't know. But I saw an article yesterday, Alex. Human creators have taught AI how to lie. This is a headline. So, there's your setup for all you AI freaks. You're like, oh, this is going to be great. All right, here we go. How is AI going to change our jobs? How is it going to change work? How is it going to change tech jobs? Is it going to gobble a bunch of tech jobs? It's a legitimate question. And a lot of people think about this stuff. Well, what if it's not going to really gobble up that many tech jobs? It's going to spin off some jobs. And what if AI is actually going to make you more valuable because of how effective you're becoming? Uh-oh. And guess who? Guess who? According to the data, guess who is using AI to their advantage? Anybody? Gen Z. Uh-oh. Here's the headline. Gen Zers could swipe millennials' jobs if they have AI skills, according to LinkedIn and Microsoft. What? According to the 2024 Annual Work Trend Index by Microsoft and LinkedIn. Managers. They surveyed 31,000 managers across 31 nations. Managers say that AI aptitude, in other words, if you are skilled with AI, this could rival your experience. In other words, people will hire you if you have virtually no experience, but you're good with AI. Wow. Then what's the rest of the story? 71% of leaders preferred hiring candidates with AI skills over those with more conventional experience. Despite 66% of leaders insisting on AI skills for new hires, only 25% of firms plan to provide training in generative AI this year. So we stop here for a second. Let's press the brakes. For those of you who are paying attention, you're going, how can I leverage AI? Well, what we're seeing is, in this data so far, is leaders, managers are preferring AI skills over the customary skills that they would previously hire for. So they've got a job, let's call it job one. And then they're looking to fill job one to the extent that AI skills allow a candidate to perform job one versus another employee going, or potential employee saying, I don't have any AI skills, but I've got all the experience that's traditionally attached to job one. What the data is saying is that managers are saying, hiring managers saying, I'd prefer the person with the AI skills and we'll get them the experience. This is a big, giant, neon flashing light. Now, the second piece of data that we paused on, only 25% of firms are saying they're going to provide AI training. So AI skills are valued by companies, but they're not offering the upskilling, if you will. So what does that mean? That means you got to find ways to learn the basics of AI, to learn the tools that are being used in the workplace in AI, to maybe learn the language of it, right? And so there is a coding language behind AI. It escapes me right now. I was just talking to someone about it the other day, and Python. Thank you, Alex. I knew you were going to get that for Python. I mean, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I can't even tell you what Python is, but I can tell you that Python is the fundamental language that is used by AI. So, for instance, if you can go get certified in it and get that skill set, now all of a sudden you're very valuable. Now, let's keep going with the narrative on Gen Z, if you will, stealing jobs from millennials. By the way, millennials are the number one demographic in the workforce now. There's more millennials working than my generation, Gen X, or boomers. So this is a clash of the titans here, right? Because you got the biggest demographic, and they're still young. And then here we go. We got this new generation coming in, the whippersnappers. By the way, everybody who is in Gen Z has no idea what a whippersnapper is, so that's kind of ironic. Look it up. It's an old man phrase for youngster. All right, let's keep going. 77% of leaders intend to delegate increased responsibilities to early career hires with AI proficiencies. Wow. So this is a huge opportunity. By the way, this is not limited to Gen Z. It's just that Gen Z is coming into the workforce more AI savvy. And so if you are competing, here's what I'm trying to tell you. Gen Z, millennials, Xers, boomers, we'll get to this in a second. Everybody needs to be learning AI skills and using AI tools. But what I'm saying is, if you are in a non-Gen Z generation and you aren't using AI on a regular basis, you need to. Because these kids are, and they're going to come in, and 77% of hiring managers are going, I'll delegate the responsibilities to somebody brand new. I don't care if they're 21. So, huge opportunity. So, here's a great statement from Karen Kimbrough, LinkedIn's chief economist. Okay. She said, it's actually employees, not leaders, that are driving the push to integrate AI into their jobs, specifically Gen Zers. Right. She says, AI is at work. Employees are not waiting for their employers to set up official business processes to use it. They're already experimenting, learning, and trying it out. So I know this to be true. I talked to a young writer recently, and I asked the writer, I said, are you using ChatGPT. This was when it first came out, by the way. This is, I don't know, was it a year ago, year and a half ago? Who knows? Time flies. And she said to me, yeah, I'm using it already. Absolutely. I'm tinkering with it. It aids some research. I don't like the writing function of it. She was a purist, right? So she's writing her own words, but she was like, I absolutely started using AI, ChatGPT, as soon as it came out. Here's the point. They're not asking permission of their leaders. They're just doing it. Now, another comment by Karen Kimbrough from LinkedIn. As much as we want a narrative that Gen Zers are the tip of the spear, it's actually employees of all ages. Listen to this, and this is the big lesson of this whole thing. This is all generations. The ones who are most curious are voting with their feet, saying, hey, I'm agile, I'm willing to learn, I'm productive, and they are using AI. Here's the breakdown. And this is actually really encouraging. 85% of Gen Z says they use AI at work. For those of you expecting a big drop-off, it's not there. 78% of millennials use AI at work. 76% of Gen Xers, woohoo! Come on, Gen Xers, I'm cheering for you to not be irrelevant. 76% of Gen Xers are using it. And then, you ready for this? How many of you think boomers are below 50% in the control room? Boomers are less than 50% or more than 50% of boomers using AI in the workplace? Quick vote. Less? Okay. Everybody in there. Well, it's actually 73% of boomers are actually using AI. I knew Alex would be shocked by that. So all that to say, AI is there for everybody. Everybody should be using the tools and learning how they can become AI relevant. That's huge for growing as a professional. Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. We're here to help you win at work. When you're getting better, your paycheck gets bigger. And when the paycheck gets bigger, if you know what to do with it and you use it well, you are creating more margin, freedom in your life to live the life you want to live. That is the end result of all of this that we talk about here. Let's go to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Corey is joining us there. Corey, you're on the Ken Coleman Show. How can I help?
All right. So I'm 25. And I work in construction and remodeling, and I feel stagnant in my career. I don't make enough, and there are no growth or raise opportunities in my current job. I've taken your career assessment, and I just kind of don't know where to go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go through your results first, and then I'll dig into your current story potentially and see what we can do here. So give me your top 3 talents.
The first one is execution.
Okay, number 2.
Justice.
Okay.
And then organization.
Okay, all right. And let's go with now your top 3 passions, work you really enjoy.
Solving.
Mm-hmm.
Making.
Mm-hmm.
And then creating.
Interesting. Okay, and finally, the result that matters most to you, this is what motivates you. When you know you can put this in the world, you get the juice. What is it?
Efficiency.
Okay. All right. And so you like these results because these are your answers that gave this back to you. So this feels like you, yes?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great. And here's what I love to do when I'm coaching somebody on this is walk them through the 4 areas of work. There are 4 areas of work, Corey. If we take every job, every profession in the world, and we were to try to break them down into 4 different categories, there would be ideal work. There would be object work, so objects and things. There would be people work, and there would be process work. And and these results, and anybody's results, everybody's results are different because everybody's unique. If you look at these results in your purpose statement and the top three and your primary missional result, this is going to scream something. It's going to be obvious, and you might have 2 categories. You might have work in 2 categories. And so as you look at this, where do you think you fall based on these results? Do you think you're process, people, objects, things, or ideas?
I think probably objects.
Yeah, I do too. I think so too. And I also think there's some process work there too. I would say objects and process, because I think there's multiple buckets we could put this in. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Because here's why I tell you about process, okay? I saw execution and organization as the things you're best at. So that's there's process work. If I'm executing, if I'm really good at executing, I'm good at whatever A to Z is. You know what I mean? If it's 1, 2, 3 or A to Z, I'm good at checking the boxes and getting it done. Organization also speaks to process work, okay? And what's interesting is that justice popped up for you in your top talent. And justice is not a legal use here. Justice is a strong talent for right and wrong. You just know what's right and what's wrong. And my guess is that when you're executing, you are executing in a very pure fashion in your mind. It needs to be done the right way, not just done. Am I getting that right?
Yep, that sounds exactly right.
All right. That's why I came up with the word justice to explain that. So the work you love is solving problems, making something to help solve a problem, creating something that would solve a problem. Those three go beautifully together. And what you want to solve is efficiency problems. You want to make something that makes things more efficient for people. You want to create something that makes things more efficient. Is that still on target with you?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is fun. So Corey, and I'm okay with whatever answer comes up here, if there was a growth track for you in your current job, I'm curious if you would be calling me. In other words, is there any enjoyment in the actual work if you knew that all the hard work you were doing would lead to a ladder that you could climb? Make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, it does. I'd say potentially. I guess just the work I do, I mean, in like remodeling, I do just about everything that you could do in a home, from plumbing to framing to any of that kind of stuff. And I don't find great joy in that kind of thing.
Okay. What do you find great joy in? Think about it. We just found out solving, making, creating. So what would you be solving? What would you be making? What would you be creating? By the way, making and creating in this situation with your results, we could almost throw a hula hoop around them because they have very similar applications. So let's have some fun right now. If I could pay you 20% more than you're making right now, and you had to create a job, you had to create the job for me. You go, okay, and I said, I'm going to pay you. But all you have to do, Corey, is tell me what you're solving, what you're making, what you're creating. What would you come back to me with?
I guess it would be something. I do really like making, I don't know, people's their lives more efficient, or like things like that. Like,
tell me the problems. Tell me the problems that you like solving. Because here's what we know: you solve a lot of problems in a remodel and in construction.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you if I walked around with you for a full day and I had a little sheet of paper with me and I said, Corey, as you do everything you're supposed to do today on your punch list, as you begin it, I want you to say to me, love it or hate it or whatever. We just said this gives me juice or this drains me. What is the stuff that gives you the juice that you're already doing or you have done in the past? This isn't hard.
I guess
it's not hard.
I mean, I guess the thing that I could like lose time doing is like it's really like solving like little things in your life to make you more efficient, from like if it's putting your keys like in a certain area, building something for your keys to go there so every day you can grab them really fast, and just like streamlining your life.
Love it. So those would be the
kind of thing.
That's what you would do. So you'd say, Ken, here's the job. I'm going to make, create, solve for convenience. Convenience, efficiency, whatever word you want to use, right? You want to make people's lives a little smoother and better through stuff that you make. Is that fair? Or change that sentence up. So what would you do? What would you do? You still didn't answer my question. What have you enjoyed on the job site? What work have you enjoyed in construction and remodeling?
I guess that's kind of why I'm calling. I can't really like place it.
You've never enjoyed anything in the construction world. Never one time. You said, "Oh, that was fun." I don't believe that.
I mean, yeah, I guess I do. I don't quite know what it would be. I guess when I'm struggling to find the answer to that.
Okay, let's take another approach. What would you build? Do you enjoy building, concepting, and actually making the thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you love about that?
I guess the coming up with the idea myself, or the actual building of the thing.
That's right. And so you're also driven to build. So my point is you don't have to answer this question on the air, but I think this is your fun homework assignment, and the ideas are going to come flowing when you ask the right question. So here's the question I think you have to be asking. What do I want to make/create that will make people's lives easier? That's it. Did you write that down?
Yes.
What do I want to create that will make people's lives easier, better? And now you just think about that question every morning, every night, and allow your brain and heart to begin to just see things. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I think you'll see all the ideas in the world out there. Who's making stuff? What are some of the products that you like that make your life more efficient? That's what you got to ask. And as you begin to see things that you like, that you use, it also gives you ideas. Let the things that you use to be efficient become inspiration for what you can do for others. This is The Ken Coleman Show.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.